Action figure deconstruction. What is up? Welcome to another episode of Action Figure Deconstruction. I am the Master of Disaster, Josh45, and with me as always is the Master Collector, CBS. What's up, buddy?
Not a lot. How you guys doing?
So today we have a really cool one, and when it comes to this figure specifically, we had to call in an expert today. We had to call in the ultimate, the lovely Craggle Tiberius. He is our Transformers master and expert, so he will be doing the transforming and displaying and all the magic that comes with this figure. I just don't have the nimble fingers that he has, you know, they're like very delicate and gentle.
He is special in a special way, that's true.
He's all the special ways, and he is our Transformers expert, so I'm glad to have him on the episode today. But we are doing Transformers Siege Leader Class War for Cybertron Ultra Magnus.
It's a lot of words in a mouth.
A lot of words, but if you're a Transformers fan, they all make sense. And even if you're not, it makes sense, because it's a really, really cool figure. So, you ready to deconstruct this thing?
Man, I don't see why not.
All right, here we go. This figure comes packaged in a beautiful window box display, easily opened with a couple cuts of some tape on the top. Meaning you can slide the figure out really easily without destroying the packaging if you want to put it back in after you transform it, display it, whatever you want to do. You can put it right back in. It's pretty cool. As seen in the packaging, you got all your accessories, rockets, your guns, cannons, etc. It's really, the only thing holding it in is a bunch of little, like, the plastic rubber bands that hold most figures in these days. You just easily just take some scissors and snip them out. If you're a big carded figure fan, cutting these things I don't think really matters, because it's not going to take away from the fact that the figure looks really cool in the package still. It comes with several hand cannon / laser rifle guns, one larger gun, and then 2 little small rocket launchers and or shoulder rockets. Now, without going into too much detail, as Craggle Tiberius deconstructs and reconstructs this figure, there's a lot that goes into it, but he's kind of a wizard / master, like the 1980s movie. He just kind of gets it. I don't understand. He has a special gift. Being the leader class Transformers figure, it is very highly detailed and pretty expert level. It's not necessarily made for the younger kids, but if you're a parent or older brother, sister, or just an adult and want to hang out and like teach a kid how to transform, it works really well. It's very highly detailed, a lot of removable pieces. It takes multiple steps to transform, both into the robot figure and the vehicle version. Being the car carrier semi version, the semi that he is, it easily sets the other vehicles on top of it and carries them like it's supposed to. It's really neat how compatible they can be. The wheels spin. So the Hasbro Takara Tomy Transformers Siege Leader Class War for Cybertron Ultra Magnus. Surprisingly, that's not the first time I've said that.
That's true.
But it's the first time I've made it all the way through. So
It's pretty good.
Whatever. You tried doing this. Anyway, this figure is highly detailed, super amazing, super beautiful. I love Transformers. I've never been like the biggest Transformers collector just because they are super expensive. I don't have the time and the patience to transform them and do that kind of stuff. Not really my thing, but their connection with G.I. Joe is kind of what keeps me in love with them.
Hasbro connection wise, I mean, they've done a lot of crossovers in the comics. I mean, as far as the figures in the line of toys don't necessarily cross over super heavy, but as a thing, I mean, IDW was doing this whole thing they called Revolution, and Revolution was taking Transformers, G.I. Joe, Action Man, Micronauts, Mask, and putting them all in the same universe with ROM. And
those other guys with like the holographic chests.
Oh, the Visionaries, yeah.
Visionaries, yeah.
So like all of it wrapped up into one big universe. End goal was to make a movie universe, which at this point I don't think is happening anymore.
No, I think it's still on board, kind of. I mean, most movie things are just.
Wow.
Currently
the world's crazy, so yeah, that's true. But yeah, they use ROM as the hub and connected them all together. So like, yeah, branding wise, they've kind of been hand in hand. I mean, even in the 80s, you had the G.I. Joes and you had the Transformer movies and shows and cartoons and figures all over the place. So yeah, they're synonymous with each other.
So this figure specifically it comes in it's wave 1 of this series, which is the Siege Leader Class War for Cybertron, but it comes with it's 2 figures in the series. It also comes with Shockwave. It's the purple guy with the laser, and
he's awesome.
Pretty cool bad guy. He's also the reason that the G.I. Joe figure, who's my favorite G.I. Joe of all time, his name got moved to Shock Blast, not Shockwave.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him share the same names anymore, so.
But whatever.
Oh well.
So I guess it's whoever would win in a fight. And as much as I like Shockwave G.I. Joe, I don't think that a SWAT police officer G.I. Joe figure could beat an amazing Decepticon.
I mean, he's a giant robot, so.
I mean, I'll give him as much credit as possible, but.
I mean, it'd be a rough class, especially just one dude.
So anyway, yeah, it comes in 2. It's gonna run you $35 to $50 depending on where you get it. Like, at this point, Walmart's still kind of carrying it. I don't want to give Walmart too much credit because whatever. But you can get it online. I think I've seen it at Target, but I actually picked this one up at Ross for a pretty decent price. So check around, but I know online it's going for about $30, $35, which is a pretty good deal for the Leader Class Transformers.
Well, yeah, all the bigger figures. I mean, of course, bigger figure, bigger price tag. That's pretty normal.
Exactly. So as far as the breakdown and the transforming and all that stuff, again, because CBS and me aren't the biggest, like, I don't even know what word we like. I want to say experts, fine, but I want to give like savant of transforming. So I just want to say a huge thank you to our lovely assistant, Quaggle Tiberius. And it has to be said that way. I mean, it's just when you read it on his birth certificate, I don't know what punctuation needs to be put there, but that's how it's supposed to be said. His mom said. His mom told me when she named him, that's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, well, I think it was on a ship too, so I mean that makes a lot of sense.
Like a spaceship?
No, like a boat on the water,
or like an old like
a sailing cruise, like pirate ship,
like a big pirate wooden like the.
We're talking Pirates of the Caribbean, bro.
Maybe, or a spaceship. I don't know. I once heard he was a robot. Anyway, so.
Which would make a lot of sense why you can take them apart and move them so well. Man.
Craggle?
Yeah. That answers a lot of questions.
Does it?
And yeah.
And I heard he runs on tequila.
Yeah.
Like it's like Bender, but like it's high octane.
Just like Bender.
So, again, Transformers. You love Transformers? Check this guy out. He's always been one of my favorite Actually, I won't even say one of. He's my favorite Transformer. He's basically Optimus Prime's like cooler older brother who's tougher and crazy leader guy. Like the Matrix leadership thing didn't ever like fit with him. Weirdly, I don't know why it went with Rodimus, that little crybaby, but he's an awesome character. I always loved him, and like when they break down to it and his armor falls off and he has he's basically like a white and blue version of Optimus Prime underneath. Yeah. I think it's super rad. He's a super cool, super powerful character. Always been my favorite, really. Like he just is all about winning, and he's like the General Patton of the Transformers, kind of like. So,
yeah, he's freaking awesome. That's true.
And again, in the same way, that Shockwave figure, I've actually seen it. Our buddy Big Josh, DJ Big Josh, what's his DJ name?
Funk 10.
Funk 10. Check him out on all social medias. You can find him, but he actually is a big fan of Shockwave. I think it's Shockwave, isn't it the one he's a big fan of?
Shockwave, yeah. That's his. Well, it makes sense because he's a hip hop DJ guy.
I think so. Anyway, but yeah, I saw him. I saw that he picked up that figure as well. So, that was pretty cool. But anyway, man. So this has been a little bit of a different one. We brought in some help.
Sure. Social medias on Instagram, you're at
Wendell24, WINDLE24. You are at
Top 5 Comics CBS.
Everything we do is at Top 5 Comics Podcast.com.
A lot of words.
I like that we kind of did it together.
Sort of.
But everything that we do is on there. All of our things. That's the plethora, the smorgasbord, or the table of contents, I guess you could just call it that.
Right. We got links to everything. Our podcast, Top 5 Comics Podcast, the Never Been Done podcast. There's also a link to Scovillionaires, our buddy's Hot Sauce Review show.
Which is like a weaker version of this, which they're deconstructing a hot sauce, which is like, it's hot. They don't gotta like take anything out of it. They're just like, it's hot. But they try. They're trying their best, and they're not as handsome. But hey, they're trying their best. That's all about your best, right?
I mean, sure.
Because you're the best around, and nothing's never going to keep you down.
That's a song.
Exactly.
That's true. Man. And we got Ant-Man 2050 gameplay reviews, or gameplay walkthroughs, both. He's supposed to have some new stuff, is what he was saying, so I guess we'll see when that happens. And of course, you can find us there.
I hope he does Super Mario Brothers.
I mean, I'll mention it.
Like the very, very, very first, the one where you just run and like jump on the things and kick the things, and that one. No, I watch a ton of those old school, like the walkthroughs. They're just like the really, really, really old ones. I'm like, or Kid Icarus. You should tell him to do Kid Icarus.
Oh my God.
I've tried. That game is so flippin' hard.
Yeah, the game is terrible.
You should be like, hey, Rob, do Kid Icarus.
That's not gonna happen.
That's a challenge for anybody. If you're a gamer, do Kid Icarus, and we'll shout you out on here.
Sure.
Or what's the other one?
Say you're crazy if you're playing that one.
What's the Ghosts and Goblins, or
Ghosts and Goblins? That's the one where your clothes fall off you when you get injured.
You get hit twice and then you die, and then there's no continue. You got to start all the way at the beginning. It's like the worst game ever.
Ross plays a version of that.
No, there's no version. We played it on my NES Classic. Remember?
You're talking about the original version. Yeah. No, there's been other adaptations since then. Yeah, it's still the same problem though.
That game sucks. It's too hard.
Yeah.
I like when I at least kind of continue.
I mean, it does make it easier. There is an Evil Dead version of that game, though, where you're cool. Ash. That's kind of, same idea, though. Yeah. Fantastic.
Well, thanks for joining us. I know that we've gotten a couple new ones out lately. Had a little bit of hiatus there. We got a lot of figures lined up that are really, really cool. A couple that are actually on the way, so I can't wait to share those ones with you guys. I want to kind of keep it a secret, but it's really rad stuff. With all the COVID things that are happening, it's been getting things from the factories in China to the US and getting distributed has been kind of difficult, but stuff's starting to finally show up, which is really awesome. So we have a lot of cool things to show you guys. So I can't wait. So thanks for joining us. Until next time, same bat time,
same bat channel.
Did we have a noise last time? Pew, pew, pew.